We need bloopers.
We'll have
Bloopers.
Yeah.
we'll have bloopers.
Wow.
Very
We're a
important.
professional operation here, everybody. Very
Oh yeah,
well-oiled
Yes,
machine.
absolutely.
we have fun though. Well, thank you everybody for joining this call as we celebrate the new year with the absolute. I can't wait for everyone to hear all of the jewels that are going to be released in this call. It's astounding. I'm quite looking forward to it. We've got a pretty full evening planned, and at first I want to thank all of the people here who are going to speak and share their heart and soul with you. We just represent a small fraction of the foundation as well. Elizabeth is going to be sharing kind of the numerous new people who are helping to make the work of the foundation happen on a practical level. But I want to say thank you to all who are watching real time, not real time. If you have questions, comments, or anything, please use the chat feature, and I'll be happy to do that. If you have a specific Q&A, use the Q&A. Otherwise, I'm happy to just respond in the chat. Elizabeth is going to open us up with kind of a recap of the year. Gabriel is then going to give us kind of a foundation update of where we stand. Then we're going to do kind of some special announcements of some actionable initiatives. We'll hear from maybe Megan Peterson, I think she's watching, and some other initiatives that are happening around the globe right now. Pretty amazing things. Then we'll hear from Gabriel again about the amazing future that the pathway is just, it's like a yellow brick road that's glowing in front of us. We're beginning to walk that. And then Ariane is going to guide us in a beautiful imagery to close it out. Again, any questions, put them in the Q&A, or in the chat. But without further ado, Miss Elizabeth, if you'd love to give us a recap of this marvelous year.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Wyatt. Thank you so much. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with special events, the special events that we hosted. We had the second Russia-America exchange with Andrei, founder of 𝚎𝚟𝚎𝚗𝚝. Andrei spoke of the experience of organizing a kin domain settlement, what works and what doesn't, his successful experiences of when teams jointly solved complex infrastructure issues on the settlement and resolved legislative restrictions, working with the local government, the possibilities of the internal local economy and cooperation within the settlement. Mutual support works only if it is initially and immediately discussed and set up. And the second one was Education 𝚎𝚟𝚎𝚗𝚝 way. This is the third Russia-America exchange. 𝚎𝚟𝚎𝚗𝚝's innovative deep immersion method that allows students to learn more, learn faster, and retain more information. This is how they do 11 years of education in just 1 year, or years of education in just 1 year. The relationship between a teacher and their students as self-sufficient individuals, thinking as a collective and the collective image creation process, educating children so they become strong, loving, balanced individuals with a full set of creative powers, the importance of interacting with nature in the learning process, how to educate students in a home or school setting, and speaking with 2 students from the Synergy School of Life. So the third one that we did was the Freedom and Co-Creation. This is the Love, Land, and Law event. And there is a second one coming that is confirmed. So we brought together some of the best law minds in the United States of America from the American Meeting Group, and some of the most knowledgeable and inspiring KINS domain creators from Russia to give our community a 2-day event that provided them with valuable knowledge to assist them in successfully living freely, happily, and prosperously on their KINS domain. And yes, we've confirmed that second one. It's a follow-up event later this year. So then the fourth one is the Birthing Man, the Science of Home Birth with Emily Thomas. And in this one, you dive deep into the perspective of birth, Anastasia's way with Emily Thomas, a mother who had a successful unassisted home birth and a passionate researcher on the science of birth. So then moving right along, these are the events that we attended this year. The Music and Sky Festival. At this event, Gabriel spoke about Anastasia, the Ringing Cedars of Russia books movement, and the KINS domains. And then we also attended the Luminous Education Revolution event. Dr. 𝚎𝚑𝚒𝚒𝚗𝚝 Chan, the creator of this event, has managed to convene some of the brightest and most forward-thinking leaders in the education space to share their insights and learning on properly educating the new generation of luminous children. Gabriel gave a 1-hour presentation about Anastasia and the Ringing Cedars vision of education. It was released as part of part 3, Ancient Memories and Future Vision. It was released as part of part 3, Ancient Memories and Future Vision. Okay, so then here is our interview catalog. It's quite extensive, it's a great one. So we have Bruce Perlewin interview. Bruce is a longtime reader of the Ringing Cedars of Russia series and deep supporter of Anastasia's vision. He is one of the pure-minded entrepreneurs that Anastasia mentions in the books. He spent 8 years on the creation of the Veterans Village Kins Domain community in Arizona and has since decided to sell the land and start again in a more favorable environment for him. He has devoted a significant amount of his wealth to building many Kins Domain settlements in the USA and funds the work of the Anastasia Foundation. Then there's the Paul Nurm interview. Paul Nurm is the creator and founder of the first Kins Domain settlement in Estonia. Paul speaks about his spiritual journey and how Anastasia and the Ringing Cedars of Russia books have inspired and positively changed his life. We also have Rob and the 𝚎𝚒𝚒𝚗 family, White Walking Feather interview. White Walking Feather shares his journey back to self-governance and wholesome, healthy relationships with life. He is featured in the hit YouTube documentary Ungrip and is the author of the book Graduating Life with Honors. He has lived off-grid since 2007, builds earthships, greenhouses, and has devoted his life to exploring sovereignty and self-governance. Currently, he stewards sovereign land located in Northern Ontario with the assistance of his tribe, while running a school for the 𝚎𝚑𝚒𝚗 Arts, Art of Peace. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that one right, but okay. Then we have the Jonah Whitcamper interview. Jonah is co-founder and president of Nexus, the Amazon Investor Coalition, and the Health Democracy Coalition. Nexus is a global movement of over 6,000 young people from 70 countries dedicated to bridging communities of wealth and impact. The AIC advances forest-friendly economic development of the Amazon region of South America. The HDC connects funders to collaborate on US policy. The various networks involve people from many of the world's most philanthropic families. Jonah Whitcamper has organized global networks of young philanthropists for more than a decade, inspiring new charitable activity from many wealthy families. Jonah shares how Kins domains fit into the emerging economic system of the world and how to capitalize on those opportunities. An understanding of the worldwide shift towards sustainability in business. Many different strategies for how to fund Kins domains and settlements, and tips for successfully pitching donors for Kins domain settlement funding. And there was also the Galina Karabinskaya interview. Galina Karabinskaya lives with her husband Vadim and their children in the most northern Kins domain settlement in Russia, Karelskaya 𝚎𝚑𝚒𝚗𝚝. This is the only Kins domain settlement in the Republic of Karelia to the north of St. Petersburg. Karelia is a region that extends between Russia, Sweden, and Finland. Vadim started the settlement 15 years ago, and Galina joined him later. Vadim is a blogger, the first and largest Ringing Cedars blog in Russia. It is a territory of ancient history, home of the Karelians, people of Northern Europe. Galina is an online English teacher, and currently they have 2 children with a third on the way. Galina shares her story and how she found her way to her life on her Kins domain. The very magical way she met her husband Vadim, success from life on her Kins domain, beautiful aspects from life on a domain, raising children on your domain, connecting with your land, and writing your book of kin. Then there's the Dr. Edith Ubuntu Chan interview, a mind-expanding and paradigm-shifting conversation about education with Dr. Edith Ubuntu Chan. Dr. Edith is a Ringing Cedars reader, a world-class healer and Chinese medicine doctor, and a visionary educator. She really is an inspiring presence and a dear friend of the foundation. Dr. Edith shares her story and how she began the luminous education work, the 6 phases of education learning, inspiring stories of luminous education in real life. We also had the Returning to Natural Time with Mikuak Rai and Ruben Linus, a foundation
Ruben
for
Ginas, Makua Ray and Ruben Ginas.
Thank you.
Some of my dearest friends in the world.
Thank you for the correction. I really appreciate it. For New Spirit Consciousness. According to Anastasia, humanity in the future will have accepted a new calendar. Have you ever considered the effects of the current 12-month calendar on our beliefs, customs, choices, behaviors, and actual relationship with time? Could humanity benefit by simply attuning to the natural standard of the 13 months or moons and of 28 days each? Discover more about returning to natural time with our dear friends 𝚜𝚒𝚒𝚗𝚝 and Ruben. Sorry, say it again.
𝚜𝚒 Ray and Ruben Ginas.
𝚜𝚒 and Ruben Ginas. Thank you again.
Yeah, Anastasia talks about humanity will adopt a new calendar, and these guys have really figured out, I think, the new calendar that we'll wind up adapting. So anyway.
Yes, this is an incredibly powerful talk. So it will leave you wondrously inspired for sure. Okay, then we have the Jim Gale interview. Jim Gale is a renowned food forest expert and the chief storyteller and founder of Food Forest Abundance. Food Forest Abundance was established in 2020 as a way to help people grow their own food, and has blossomed into a global movement to help people become more self-reliant. Jim has created a profitable, sustainable business that covers the world in food forests. Jim is a passionate warrior for truth, personal freedom, and abundance for everyone. This was an inspiring interview between like hearts and minds committed to making practical change on the earth. And I have actually visited Jim Gale's his food forest home in Florida. It's really amazing. It's very beautiful. So in interviews that grew our community, inspired interview with Jean Nolan, the 𝚎𝚑𝚒𝚗𝚝 interview, and the Source Connection interview. And we are so grateful for the opportunity to be featured on these channels. It has grown our community exponentially and expanding the message of the foundation to new hearts and minds. Okay, so moving along to in-person gatherings. We've had multiple small Florida meetups over the summer of 2022. There was the California meetup, October 19th at Cafe Gratitude in Venice Beach, the California meetup at Ananda Village. There was a British Columbia meetup, a Minnesota meetup, and a Hawaii meetup. New calls that have been added to the lineup are the European Community Connection Call, the weekly Global Imagery, Uplifted Voices monthly open mic event, and the monthly Readers Group Call. We also have a new community platform, our own private social network. Our own private social network where you can meet your soulmates, connect with other Ringing Cedars readers near you, make new Ringing Cedars friends, create and join local meetup groups about Ringing Cedars related topics, organize local action, join discussions, and more. We also want to remind you that you can submit content feature on our website. Send us your art, music, poetry, stories, kin domains, declarations, and more. You want to go to the website, media, and submit content. And these will also be shared and featured in the newsletter. So please submit. We're always looking for more inspired content to feature there. We also have new team members that we would like to welcome. Svetlana Rezko, the Russian English translator. She's new, she just joined us. Rachel is our content manager. She also just recently joined us. Taylor Marie is a social media manager. Elizabeth Erkel, that's me, community outreach coordinator. I joined last year, a few months ago. Agata Yannick, the European Community Development and European Ringing Cedars Community Call host. And so I want to follow up, Jen, just with our stats for this year, which are really, really incredible. We have 2,900 YouTube subscribers, 1,753 Telegram members, 4,146 Facebook group members, and 1,050 Ringing Cedars community platform members. It's huge. And that wraps up this portion of it. Thank you, Wyatt.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, I can't stop smiling. I wanted to log on and see like Gabriel on the YouTube, like the analytics of like where we were at. But I know from just seeing the numbers, like this year, I think that the growth factor was higher than a lot of the previous years. Maybe you can speak a little bit as to like the magnitude of the growth here this year. And then segue like into like where we're kind of at, where we are now. But I mean, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for sharing all of that. That was huge.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And yeah, it's amazing to hear all these things listed out. And surprisingly, it's like there's even more things that aren't even shared there, right? And it's like we would probably be sitting here for a bit more time to go through those things. And to see the growth of things, I'm just so humbled at watching the vision expand and everybody who wants to get involved. For some period of time, I was doing things alone over a long period of time and just praying for the right people to come, praying for the people that I trusted and cared deeply about, and people who would just work together in a good way would come. And those people started flooding in recently, let's say within the last, 2 years, especially everybody who's here talking with me right now. And yeah, the numbers have just been much higher than they used to be. And it's reflected in the fact that I'm doing this full time now. This is what I do. I'm running the foundation all day, every day. This is my life. And I'm super blessed to be in that position. I'm super grateful. And that has set up a lot of things for the future, which we're going to get into probably in a little bit. I just want to go back through my notes here. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if I get into kind of where we are and what the general direction of things is going to be. And so, like Elizabeth has said, we've gone through a lot of growth, and it's really just the beginning. And I feel like I'm saying that all the time. It's just the beginning, and I'll probably be saying that 30 years from now, that it's things are just beginning, but I really feel like it is. And so one of the biggest things that has developed over the last year is Vladimir Miguel is agreed to let us be the English publishers of the Ringing Cedars of Russia series. And that's a dream come true for me, because back in 2014, I would have never imagined, when I first read the books, that I'd wind up being the publisher of the books. And it shows, because Miguel sees everything that's going on that we're doing. Some of the emails that I get from him and his team are, we're so happy to see all the events that you guys are doing, to see how active your community is, how much people are engaging. It's like we have earned the respect and admiration of our dear Russian brothers and sisters, and even Vladimir himself, and it shows. And they trust us, and they believe in us, and they see what we're doing. And so we're going to be publishing the books, and Miguel and I have been working on it back and forth for some time now. There's a few things that we need to finalize before we can really start to make it move forward, but it's all going. And I just want to say, everybody gets really excited about the news. Just give it some time, because we want to do things right, and it's a big job, and it's going to be, basically my intention is we do the best quality job of all time, and one and done, and it just kind of ripples out forever. I believe we're going to do the best translation of the Ringing Cedars books in any language. I'm sorry, I'm friends with publishers in other language. I'm sorry, but it's just going to happen that way. I'm sorry. And so that's what we're aiming for. And so that's one of the big things, and that's going to be a huge catalyst for the growth of the community in the future. And what I see happening now is we're setting up a lot of infrastructure, building blocks and foundations for the larger growth of the community in the future. So all the programs that we're doing, the regional ambassador program, all the calls that we're doing, everything, you name it, that Elizabeth has named, these are things that are going to support the growth of the community going forward. And this is something that really excites me. So one of those things too is going to be, we're going to release an app. I know you guys have probably heard me talk about it if you watch the YouTube videos. We're going to release an iPhone and Android app for the Ringing Cedars community platform. And without even too much, what would you say, promotion and focus on the platform, we've gotten over 1,000 members relatively quickly within the last year. And like I just said, it's only the beginning. We're going to be promoting that more. People are going to read the books. There's going to be a page in the back of the book that has QR codes for the apps, and people just reading book one will be able to download it from their phone without even leaving their couch, and find readers near them, and probably an active group within 1 to 3, 4 hours drive from them. It's going to be insane. The future of the movement, because of connectivity tools like this, like the app. Anastasia said in book 3, we need to find the most efficient ways to connect readers with each other, right? And me having a technology background, all the websites that you see that we have, I've designed and built myself. Having this kind of technology background has really enabled us to do these kinds of things. And so another project that I'm excited about that goes hand in hand with the book publishing, it's like everything is kind of built on the book publishing is we're going to be distributing the 𝚝𝚒𝚜 cedar nut oil, Siberian cedar oil. And that's going to be huge because anybody who's tried to order probably knows that you're going to have to pay a bunch of money in shipping and wait some time to get it from Russia. And it's worth it sometimes, but I'm going to give you $5 to $7 shipping in 2 days anywhere in the continental United States, and a pretty good price on the cedar oil. So it should be much easier for everybody to access that. And that means health and healing and joy for everyone. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be drinking a ton of it myself. So I look very forward to it. Here's a little Siberian cedar cone right here, just to give you guys the image. I'm not going to mess up my focus here, but it's coming. And again, that's going to be something people can read about in the books and get it right there. So we're setting everything up for that moment. And one of the biggest projects that I think has far-reaching implications in the future is I'm launching a marketplace called Anastasia Market. I'm not going to give you the link yet because we're not ready to start taking orders, but it is a Ringing Cedars inspired marketplace. And our first products are going to be incredible canvas prints of paintings from the great Russian artist Kumar Aljanov. And if you look behind Wyatt right there on his left, and if you look at Elizabeth right there on her left, those are both paintings, Kumar's paintings, that they have prints that I'm talking about. If you've been on our website, if you've been anywhere on our channels, you have seen his paintings. And he's my favorite artist of all time, bar none. And he might be in your top 3 easily after you get to see and appreciate his paintings. And so what's going to happen is we signed a licensing agreement with him. We're going to launch this platform, Anastasia Market. But what's going to happen with that is in the future, we're going to be selling all kinds of products created by Ringing Cedars readers and people on their KINS domains. And so we will speak with people, we will arrange these deals, and we will put together a place where everybody can get these products. So you see, we have cedar oil, we have the books, we have all this community infrastructure we're building, marketplace to help the economic development of the movement. And there's all other kinds of things that are going to be happening, but that website is done. The marketplace is pretty much ready to go. I did an interview with Kumar the other day, and I just need to edit that and share it, and you guys will see everything with him, and we launched that. And so these are just some of the things. So give the books some time. We need to do a good job, and but 𝚝𝚜𝚜 believes in us, and everything is going to be good. So I think, Wyatt, that's what you needed from me in this segment here. Is that good?
I think so, my friend. Is there anything that, how can people get involved if they feel, I know as I was first, getting exposed to this, sometimes a fire gets lit in you, and having a channel, what's the best way for people to contact the foundation or whoever, and how can they get involved, and what are you looking for? Are there any things that you're looking for right now?
So my friend Wesley says, he who sees the work is best suited for the work. And basically that's what's happened with everybody who's here on this call right now. All of us saw a way where we could get involved and contribute, and we made it happen, and it's voluntary, and everybody wants to do it, right? And so we have a volunteer page. If you go to anastasia.foundation/volunteer, you can see the open spots that we have. But honestly, if you feel like you want to contribute to our work and the expansion and growth of the international Ringing Cedars movement, you can send a message and offer anything that you'd like. Please forgive me if I'm a little slow with the emails. I'm doing my best. But if you want to contact Ariane, if you want to contact Wyatt, if you want to contact Elizabeth, they are very responsive and can field any kind of interest that you might have to contribute. Because honestly, we're just a group of friends who trust each other, respect each other, and are trying to push this all forward. And the Anastasia Foundation is a space for readers to actualize their vision. And I'm here just to support everybody else in making their dreams come true. And so if you want to get involved, we'd be grateful. everything you do is received with deep gratitude, and we'd be happy to have you.
Thank you so much, brother. It's been an absolute pleasure to be able to serve alongside all of these brilliant warriors, and to be able to hold a torch and a candlelight, a lamp, you know, in times of darkness, and to have the support of spiritual family is unlike any support I've felt yet. And it kind of keeps growing, which is interesting. You know, it's not something that is static. And being a part of this family, I think for anyone out there who's considering taking that leap, or just wanting to get involved in a deeper way, like, you will not regret it. That the soul growth, the journeys, and any potential hardships are so well worth it. It's amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
I want to see, is Megan still in the chat here? Let me see. I think, yeah, she is.
Our good friend is here. She's here.
Yeah. So like in the next section, we're just gonna I'm gonna share a little bit about some of the actionable initiatives happening. So maybe I'll give a brief overview, and then Megan, if you like want to speak, we would like, we can, Gabriel knows how to do that, but I can, I guess, promote to panelists. Is that what I would click there?
Of course I know how to do it. Yeah. You just tell me when we need to do it. Do you want to do it
Okay.
now?
I mean, she can become a panelist now.
Okay,
So
great.
there's so many things happening, you know, across. I think one thing, you know, that grandfather says in the books is, you know, the spiritual and the material have to be sensed equally. And that's what I see this foundation doing. And when I say the foundation, I mean everyone within the foundation. And I see that happening, you know, with all of our actions in all of our small communities. I know in BC, there's a lot of beautiful, beautiful work happening, especially in your location area, on what you're doing with the elders, and what you're doing, you know, connecting these people. And if you feel like you want to share about that, please do, because the times that you've talked about that is absolutely huge.
Yeah, I'm happy to speak about it for sure. So it turns out that there's readers everywhere. There are readers everywhere. And it's because of the online platforms and putting it out, you know, on the community. Hey, there's a readers group, you know, in the Valley, Vancouver Island, who would like to participate. And suddenly all of these men and women just step out of the woodworks, and they're like, you know, 20 minutes away, 10 minutes away, 30 minutes away. And it's absolutely incredible to see just how many people have been touched by these books, and how actually quite close they are. And so you were talking about the elders, Wyatt. We have a handful of elders around in the valley where I live, and they have been reading the books for a very long time. And they've been reading the books over and over and over again. I think one has read the book series, I think like 7 or 8 times. She might even be on this call right now. It's absolutely incredible. And these elders have been holding it down for us. They've been holding down the vision. They've been holding down the energy, and they've been waiting for us. And here we are. And it's the best thing ever. The best thing ever for them. And so I want to thank them. I want to thank the elders out there, who have been reading the books from the very beginning, you know, decades ago. And what an honor it is to see these men and women in their senior years implementing this Anastasia blueprint over decades. It's powerful, really, really powerful. And so it's been a joy. It's been an adventure. I encourage everyone to think outside the box, because I even saw it on the Canada Telegram page recently, where someone's like, there are no KINS domains in Canada. And I was like, that's not true. They're all over the place. They're in every province. They're all over the place. It's just a question of allowing ourselves to be available, and to even be open to doing readers groups and connecting with these folks. So yeah, it's been a beautiful experience. In particular, the elders working with, they're just as elated to be finding us as, you know, we are to be finding them. It's really wonderful.
Wow. So what I'm hearing from you is as soon as you kind of like are ready to act, then it just comes.
Exactly.
As soon as you make yourself available in your heart to be doing things on a practical level in your community, then it materializes, and all these people that you never knew even existed are going to just come towards you.
They're everywhere. Exactly. To keep the mind open that, you know what, maybe there are readers around me that I don't know about it.
Wow.
Chances are there are.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And then even the fact of, there's been a couple of people that I've met recently that I would like, I just mention the books to them, and in the receptivity. I think we're too hasty to judge, we kind of stereotype people. It's like, these are universal messages that hit the soul. I mean, I think you never know, and building that community on that way too. So thank you so much for what you're doing in BC area, and sharing, I know, just a little snippet of all the good work that you're doing there.
It's a
And
pleasure.
real quick, I wanted to say, just to Ariane's point, like what you're saying, people read the books 15 years ago or something, and they didn't meet any other readers until they found our community. And I mean, that's the net that I was talking about, because this is the only community, and we're doing a lot of work, and there's a lot of connection happening, and that's going to keep happening, and yeah, so it goes to show. I mean, if just one person can meet another Ringing Cedars reader, that changes their life, and have that sincere, deep connection, right? And we're doing that at scale in like a huge way. It's insane.
Absolutely huge. I mean, even non-tech savvy people can figure out. I think you were speaking to this the other day, Gabriel, like we're in every corner of the net. We're on Facebook, Telegram, we're like Odyssey, YouTube, like we're on all these places.
Omnipresent.
Yeah, omnipresent, just like God himself. And we're doing it through these, through the technocracy, right? We're meeting people where they're at. We're seeking more perfected ways to bring the truth to people, because that's just what we do as warriors,
I'm going to be selling stickers through the Anastasia market that's going to say things like "Read the Ringing Cedars of Russia" series, or go to Anastasia.Foundation. So I'm all for benevolent vandalism. So let's go for that, or bumper stickers and all these things.
Yes.
Done.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Maybe we can move on to Megan. Can tell a little bit more, but Megan is in Hawaii, and she is doing some amazing work with children. And it's absolutely amazing. It's critical. It's critical that we address the youth, because they're the ones who are going to carry this torch. And I know she has a lot to share on that. These children she has are oracle children. Absolutely, for sure. I know Ariane's had some experiences with that personally. So Megan, yeah, if you'd love to share, if
She can turn her video on and her mic on now. Megan, if you're ready. There she is.
Hi.
Hey, good to see you, sister.
It's so good to see you guys. Hi.
Aw, hi, Megan.
Hi.
So nice to see you.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me share a little bit. Wyatt reached out earlier, and I just, my heart got sparked. Sort of the opportunity to talk about the children and what's available, and if any of my experience sparks somebody else, like, that's amazing. Right? That's what this is all about. What Ariane was just saying kind of has been like the theme, that heart-centered connection, where if you're thinking it and feeling it, that's where true action comes from, right? That heart-centered, you don't think it and then figure out how to make it. First you feel it, believe it, the desire goes out, and then things start happening. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that because it's the equinox today here in Hawaii. It's called 𝚜𝚒 season, which is essentially after you go through the winter sort of hibernation caving process, you come out in this spring. It's called 𝚜𝚒. It turns from lono to 𝚜𝚒, and it's literally taking the thoughts and desires and things that you've been thinking about and creating it now. Now it's the creation season. So it's all sort of connected. We've created a little school here called Standing Spring. It's already gone through a couple different phases of what it's going to be and what it's going to look like, what we've thought it was going to be, and then figured out that what we feel as we go on is allowing that to come through and seeing the children kind of correct us, because they see things in a way that maybe we don't, because we've lived that much longer and become conditioned by society or whatever it takes. But it's been really a challenging yet just absolutely satisfying heart explosion experience process watching it unwind. I don't know if you want me to just talk about it or if you have questions.
Well, is there, I really want to put in some more information for people to be able to find this. I know I put the Instagram link into the chat, but is there another way that people can, is there another place that people can learn more about this? Because I know some people want to go back and read and things like that.
Sure. Well, the woman I'm collaborating with, her name's Dodie. She has, I'll put in here, she has a website. It's shift.info with 2 I's. And she really was the initial spark where, well, anyway, you can read a little bit about her theory and her background, which with her experiences and life goals and all of that are really in line with the Ringing Cedars. So when I met her, she was telling me about books she read, and I said, you got to read this series and start looking at how the schools, the 𝚎𝚟𝚒𝚗 schools and all of that background. And it's just so aligned. It's so many people are searching for the same thing. And when I thought about sharing that, that's the main message, is there's so many people out there who are having the same desire and looking for the same thing. And either they've read the books or they understand what they're looking for, but they can't really express it in terms in order to connect. So maybe, okay, then they read the books and then they go, oh my gosh, this is what I've been looking for. This is what I've been trying to articulate needs to happen in the world. And here it is. As soon as you get started, so many people come out of the woodwork. And that, I guess, is what I'd love to share the most, is that learning and education isn't about designing a structure. It's creating an opening of space to allow the information and learning to come in. And more and more I see that and experience it, thinking at first I was fearful to like, oh my gosh, I'm taking my kids out of this school and gonna do it on my own, and like, am I worthy? Can I do it? And it's like, no. The more you think, the harder it is. The more that you allow and create safe space for, and allow for sparks to happen and then be followed. Anyway, the more comes in. So we have people from the community jumping in. Just this weekend, last weekend I had somebody offer the farm for a learning space, a learning farm. I said, let's go and start building. This weekend we have a learning garden that the communities all come together as volunteers and started planting so that we can have food. And everybody came together and just realized what better learning opportunity than to have the children help plan out the food forest. And so we're going to have weekly where the kids come on the land, water, mulch. We just planted 40 coconut trees and breadfruit. It's just like feeding the community. What better learning is that? Like, who cares about test scores in algebra? Can you feed yourself? Where's your water coming from? Can you communicate and work on a team? So yeah, I mean, it's just been magical. Members of the community coming out, following the spark, because they see children spark so much in us all. I mean, maybe it's because I'm a mom and I'm just crazy for kids, but like, I feel like their wonder is mesmerizing. You see a child who's excited about something and people get excited too and want to follow and want to help. Yeah. That's a little summary, unless you have there's so much to share. I don't want to go too far.
It's a little summary, but
Beautiful.
a lot packed in there and a lot to unpack. I mean, for people. Just to speak with what you were saying there about the children kind of light the spark, and in you, like I remember going to this private school. Actually, this private school is called Benedicity Education, which means blessing, and it's located near me. And it reminded me so much of you, Megan, when I went to the school, and all the beautiful work that you're doing, like that we just heard, because it's parents just like you that started the school. And we went there because they're interested in partnering with us in what we're doing, to bridge the gap between communities and their food. And I had this little girl, her name was Scarlett, like come up to me. And this girl shook my hand stronger than most men have ever shook my hand. And she's like, I'm so excited. And you're here. Are we gonna get to go and help with the food and help plant this community garden that you're talking about? And like the way she was looking me in the eye was just like, oh, this is what I'm doing this for. Oh yeah, right. This is what I'm doing this for. And so I just want to echo like all the things you're saying there about that children light a new spark. And I know Elizabeth is doing absolutely amazing work with nannying, and there's all this conscious parenting happening. Dr. Edith talks so much about that. And I mean, if you have not watched that YouTube interview in Gabriel's segment, like, wow, if you're interested in children in the Ringing Cedars, that's an interview to watch. Definitely.
That was inspiring. I mean,
Yeah.
I can
Wow.
say little things, but the conversation you had together,
Yeah.
I took so much from that.
Same.
And I have to just say a big thank you for having those types of conversations and putting them out there to hear, because it's a scary thing to do big changes. And to see other people doing it also, it's just encouraging, and it was really a beautiful message. I mean, I just ate it up. I listened to the whole thing. That was awesome. So thank you for doing it.
Thank you, sister. I'm so glad to hear that feedback. It's like, I'm just trying to provide things that will inspire people or give them new ideas to consider. And I feel like the quality of the conversations we've been having has just been top notch, like every time.
Yeah.
And I plan on just staying at that level or going higher. So I'm really happy to hear that. Thank you for sharing.
It's beautiful work you're doing. Thank you for all of it. Love you guys.
Thank you so much for
Many
sharing.
hands make a miracle. It's
That's
all
right.
of us.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I think the one more thing to share here in this quick segment is there's a number of individuals around the country right now that are starting settlements. So as Elizabeth mentioned, I'm forgetting the last name right now, but his name is Paul, and he's in Estonia. And Paul has started a settlement there. And these are like what I'm considering in the English speaking world, right? So these are individuals, there's lots starting all over the world, but within our neck of the woods, I guess you could say, we're English speaking.
Within whatever we are able to be aware of, because there's
Right.
you know what you know what you don't know, and you don't know what you don't know. And there's so much out there that I'm sure we don't know, but probably will.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and it's important to celebrate the things that we do know to help them grow their fire. I know that in Hawaii, there's some action happening there. I'm not exactly sure what. All I know is, I mean, we've seen the fireworks in the distance, and I've heard the parties happening and the celebrations. There's some things happening in Hawaii, I know. And then here in the Ozarks, we are creating a settlement as well. So about a year ago, a number of individuals and myself kind of got together and said, okay, let's start now. We've got a long road ahead of us. And, so we quite to speak to with what Megan is saying there, like as we actualize these very spiritual but practical concepts, I want to put one tip out there is like to really solidify what our dear friend Megan said, is like to feel it and not think it, and that's what kind of led us as in creating the settlement. And just a quick overview of that, like what we've kind of accomplished is we've created a private trust, opened a lawful bank account, begun to be planning as far as like what we would, what exact acreage we need, how much our roads are going to take, what are we doing with water? What are we doing with this? How is finances working? How does individual plot ownership work? What are you setting up areas for the next generation? All that. So we've begun to develop a plan like that. We've built a website, and we're actively looking for those who are in alignment with us. Because really what we're creating here is a space for the birth of a new civilization, for the birth of children, right? We know that we're just the harbingers of, something new. And we're just trying to create the container for the real, like, we're angels and saints, all of us, right? But like my children, all of those children that are coming, oh my gosh, born in the space of love, like what they're going to be capable of doing is going to blow all of our minds right now, but it's just going to make us smile in 20 years when we're like, yeah, this is what we created this for. And so that's really what we're about. We want to attract those who are interested in working practically, consistently, and confidently in this direction, because the people who have been there to support us along the way and continue to it's like when a need arises, the answer is already there. And God wants to see these come about so much. And so for anyone who is starting to plan, their own domain, their own settlement, or even a garden in their backyard, like you have the entire universe on your side. All the planets are there helping you. All of your ancestors are there helping you. We are all here helping you. The community and the support that this foundation has given me and all of the family members of the settlements of the Ozarks and all of those who are doing initiatives elsewhere is absolutely profound. And so it's as someone on one of my calls, Paramatma, said, I'm realizing it's not everything to just sit and think good thoughts anymore. She's like, I need to go and I need to create them. And that's where we're all at now. And this foundation is giving us the vehicle to do that, but the secrets are in our hearts. So I will put the website link to our settlement. I put the website to the Instagram to Megan's education, her school, and then she said shift.info. And then there's so many new initiatives happening. Like if you stay in touch with our networks, the platform, Facebook, Telegram, like, oh my gosh, people are doing amazing things every single day. So you're bound to be inspired,
And for those watching on YouTube in the future, I'm going to grab all these links and put them in the description. So have no fear. They will be there. And speaking of settlements and things, in my next segment, there is some really exciting news to share about all that. And so just real quick little things.
Yeah. You're on it, my brother. You're on it.
Oh, is it my turn?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. It's legitimately my turn. Okay, so it wasn't an interruption. So I'm going to try to cover what I have to say in a brief way, but Wyatt, you wanted me to speak about the future of the foundation and talk about the dream of the foundation, what all this is. And I can't go too far in the future without fully conveying what the vision is and what the dream is, Megan, as Megan was talking, she was talking about as you start acting, you put out this energy that starts to draw people in, right? And people start to feel the vibration of your activity and your consciousness and what's happening. And it just starts to work like a magnet. And you begin attracting all these people. And what I feel like what we are, the Anastasia Foundation, is, we're community building and we're book publishing and all these things, but really what it is, it's a spiritual organization, and we're here holding this consciousness of Anastasia and the Ringing Cedars in the most pure way that we possibly can, all of us, and trying to give people that space to come into it, right? And that's how I see what we're doing, and it's that vibration is what draws people in, and the people who are part of the team all exemplify that and embody that in a beautiful way. And it's amazing the diversity of all the little sparks of God and how we're all so individual, and yet we're all so one in our spirit and in our vision and how we see things. everybody is so individual and unique in their way and has their gifts, but we're all completely unified. And it's a stunningly beautiful thing that I'm grateful to be a part of. And, you know, I wanted to read, I have this little mission statement that I have at the bottom of the website, and maybe it needs a little bit of editing, but it says, "We are facilitating co-creation for all mankind with our glorious Father God, eternal joy, the creation of flourishing kins domains across our entire planet, and the eternal preservation of love in all families everywhere." And, you know, that's a spiritual thing. That's a divine mission that we're all on here together. And I couldn't do it without everybody who's here speaking right here, without the help of many people who are here in the audience, and just the willing hearts and souls that contribute to everything that we're doing. It's stunningly beautiful. And so we've built this incredible foundation, and we already are and will continue to build the largest and most supportive international English speaking Ringing Cedars community. And honestly, not just English speaking, we will be going into other languages. The website is translatable through Google Translate. There's a button there. We have a Spanish speaking group on Telegram. I think there's a German one, and all that is going to happen because we're building infrastructure for all those different languages too. And one thing that I want to share that Vladimir himself wrote to me, which I think all my dear friends here on this panel have heard before, but maybe some of the people in the audience have not heard. I printed it out and I keep it right here next to me. Vladimir wrote this to me in July of 2022. He said, "Gabriel, I intuitively feel that you could create a large and powerful community in the English-speaking countries. It could present the world with a new paradigm for overcoming the crisis. The correctness of my assumptions has been proven in practice. In all countries where I have ever spoken to readers, they express their desire to create and to be friends. I'm grateful to you that you feel the situation well and are able to do a great deal for all the people in the world." And it's like, it's not even the fact that he addressed that to me. I feel that that's everyone here, the team, you know, it's all of you who are here who want to contribute to this vision together. It's all of us that he's speaking to. And we're doing something truly unique compared to all the other countries in the world, and even to Russia, as far as how we are organizing and building this Ringing Cedars movement. And we've taken a completely different approach, a completely unique and modern and creative approach. And it's, like I said, it's truly just the beginning. And it's incredibly successful so far. And it's just going to continue to be more successful. And, you know, this is just a group of friends who see the work and decide to step in and contribute what they can and what they feel like they have to give. Or, you know, you step into this group and you discover more of what you have to give. Myself, like all the different things that I have found out that I'm capable of doing. I never thought I'd be getting into book publishing, all these different businesses and whatever, tons of things happening, but it's all happening and it's happening perfectly. And it's amazing. And so some of the projects that are coming up, I mean, so you've heard of the Regional Ambassador Program. That means readers groups, in-person active readers group over the USA and all over the world, really. So is my mic working? Because it might have just cut out for a second. It is working. Okay. So that means readers groups all over the USA, Europe, Asia, all that is going to happen. We just had a Bali regional ambassador join, and that means in-person events happening in Bali. We have them in Germany. We have them in Canada. We have them in the United States. And like I said, it's just beginning, right? So that's one exciting thing. And so that goes from, these are readers groups that people can find out about too, because how many readers, I've heard and met so many people that were hosting Ringing Cedars meetups, but no one like really knew about them except people in the local area or like a local friend group. But now you have this platform where you can share all these things and make them more public and more successful, right? And so that's one thing. One of the super exciting projects that is going to be done before the books come out is a brand new international kins domain directory. So if you look on the Anastasia Foundation website, there's an old one that I built and it had some good features, but it didn't get the kind of adoption and usage that I wanted, but that's a blessing because that just means a new and better one needs to be built. And so we're going to build the best international KINS domain directory, KINS domain settlement directory of all time. I know how to do it, have all the technical ability to do it. We'll have every resource we need to get that done. And before the books come out, that's definitely going to be done. I've been researching it. And that's going to be huge because that means all these groups like Ariane was talking about earlier that we know about, we don't know about, where they're going to be able to make their presence known on a platform like that. And all the settlements that are forming that we don't know about are going to be able to make their presence known. And so we're just bringing structure and cohesion to the movement. And that's definitely going to happen. We're doing all kinds of interviews. You heard of all the interviews that happened earlier. I'm grateful to everybody who watches them. I'm just trying to bring value to you, and inspiring and uplifting and useful content. I'm planning on speaking with more readers from Russia, people living on their domains. You know, you get the idea. All these things are going to continue. More Russia, America exchange, like events, you know, full day events where we're speaking with, or you know, multi-hour, 3-4 hour events where we're speaking with very experienced Russian people. I mean, those events we did in 2022 were epic, and we plan more of them. So expect that. We will be doing as much educational and resource content as possible. I'm planning large in-person Anastasia Foundation, like national readers gatherings, you know, national kind of things. Like in Russia, they're having all these festivals all the time, and multiple thousands of people are coming, soulmate festivals and bard concerts and all these things. And we can make that happen easily. It's just got to pick the right timing, got to pick the right location, but it's a done deal. Consider it done. I don't know what 2023 holds, maybe in later 2023, early 2024. Expect all that. It's going to be happening. Probably 1 or 2 per year, especially like in the nice festival summer months. So expect all that. I just finished the first draft of a deck that people can use to secure funding and land and other resources and capital for KINS domain settlements. And that's something we're going to find a way to make available to everyone. We need to review it and put some more work into it, but an incredible amount of time and research has gone into that. And I plan on making that a resource that everyone can use. If you have a wealthy family member and you want to share the Ringing Cedars vision with them, and that's a story that I've heard a bunch of times. Oh, this relative of mine has, I know a woman who had like 1,600 acres of land in New York, but couldn't convince her family to use any of it. And it happens all the time. And so I'm trying to share this resource with people so you can introduce them. What is a KINS domain? What is a settlement? What does it take to get it done? Here's the A, B's, and C's of everything, in a nice, neat package that you can customize to your own needs and try to make that happen. So I'm trying to increase how many settlements can begin to happen internationally. I guess it's not just limited to the US, that deck. And there's a team of us working on it, and that will you'll hear more about it. And so, you know, just to wrap up, we're doing everything we can to connect readers and inspire readers in any single way that we can. And we're just going to keep growing in that direction. We have lots of support. There are many friends that we're making, many connections, and all different kinds of movements that we're making, and it just continues to grow. You know, you've heard some of the people that we did interviews with, and people that we're doing events with, like AMG, and there's just millions of these things that are happening and continuing to grow. So I just want everyone here to stay tuned with what's happening, and, you know, probably look back at this video in 2 or 3 years and see how far we've really gone. But we're not going anywhere. That's one thing I definitely want to promise everyone. We are not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm doing this for the rest of my life. This is what I'm here for on Earth, and I'm not stopping. This is my full-time job at this point. And with the support of many of my beautiful friends, we're making huge strides. I'm not going anywhere. This is just the beginning. And so if anybody wants to contribute to this vision, any help you feel like giving is appreciated. If you want to donate, if you have resources, if you have skills, reach out to Ariane, reach out to Elizabeth, Wyatt, myself, reach out on the contact page on the website. There are all kinds of ways that you can get in touch with us, but I just want you to know that the direction is very clear, and it's powerful. The foundation is being built, not just Anastasia Foundation, but the literal foundation. It's being built, and we're doing something that's never going to be stopped, and it's just going to continue to grow forever. So that's my segment here.
Brilliant ending, brother. Wow. So much ahead of us, man. So much ahead of us. And to have a leader like you that's humble and that inspires, it's like the mark of leadership is that, it inspires the leader and everybody else. And you exemplify
That's all I want.
You exemplify that like to the nine. And so thank you so much for inspiring that fire in me and Ariane and Elizabeth and everybody who's watching. And it's truly remarkable what we're accomplishing. And yeah, I hope that those who feel something, reach out. If anything, like, giving doesn't have to be material. It doesn't even have to be an offer. Like sometimes just a kind word of support saying, thank you so much for doing the work you're doing, can give somebody the energy to carry on for eons. A sincere word never disappears. So, all of that is so welcome. Yeah, thank you so much, Gabriel. I'm so excited just to watch, to be able to help, but really just to watch. Just this, it's unfolding. It's a beautiful flower, man.
That's how I feel every day. I'm like, this is my life, and I wake up, I'm like, yeah, it is. And just every day, just serving and trying to be better. That's all it is, It's incredible. Thank you all. Many hands make a miracle. I know I've repeated it a bunch of times, but this is all of us together. Everybody who's watching now and in the future, people are going to read the books in the future. Everybody who's part of our community that isn't here, it's all of us together, and all of us have a beautiful role to play and a beautiful song to sing. And we owe it to ourselves to let it come out,
Amen. Amen. Yeah, this undeniable spiritual connection, and Ariane's going to solidify that for us. This woman has been profoundly instrumental in me diving deeper into the foundation. And I know so many others do not believe the amount of people that come onto my call or that I interact with on Telegram that are like, oh, pristine origins, guided meditations, guided imageries, like the weekly image, like these people are being, something in them is lighting up when they realize, I can create this in my thoughts, and I'm joining hands with all these people doing this now and in this moment. And, as you said, Ariane, earth and man, like we are not separate anymore. And the discoveries that we're making together as the spiritual family grows evermore, there's no other support that you need. There's nothing, this is it. And it's beautiful because you are the hands and feet on a very practical level of building that. So it's my honor to welcome you and invite you to, Ariane's going to guide us in a little bit of an imagery to celebrate all of this amazing accomplishments. I mean, Elizabeth's list, quite honestly, I'm just like, wow, that's a lot to even take in. I need to read all of that. It's a lot, but to celebrate
just getting started,
to welcome in the future, we're just getting started.
Yeah, and before we get into the guided imagery, I'm just gonna jump in here and highlight a little bit of what you men were talking about, because I feel like a light holder, a Ringing Cedars light holder for Canada. I feel I'm going to share a bit of my journey with this, because being on the team and then watching all of you take the steps that you were taking, with the private membership associations, with the trusts, with all of your steps, learning about, law, natural law, and taking all of these steps, it really woke me up. And I couldn't even hold myself back from taking the same steps here in this country. I couldn't even hold myself back. I was like, okay, 𝚜𝚑𝚒𝚑, my partner 𝚜𝚑𝚒𝚑, I'm like, we're doing this. Like, we kind of have to, because you guys are going, well, we're going to all go together. We're all going together. And so Gabriel, you were highlighting that, and Wyatt, you were highlighting that too. Like, this is why getting together, whether on the calls, and I certainly emphasize getting together live, meeting one another live, because it really does something to our heart and our mind and our vision and our momentum. And so it's been a beautiful journey, being so inspired and writing this momentum together. It's the people creating this together. It's not the team doing this. Like you're saying, it's all of us that are building this together. So yeah, it's been, we do it out of joy, and we also do it out of accountability, a very loving, kind, benevolent accountability of like, we're going together, let's do this. We need to take these steps, and it's exciting and it's joyful. So yeah, it's the people the people of this world that are going to create this beautiful, flourishing garden everywhere. And so yeah, it's us, all of us in the community. So yes, very important to meet everyone. Meet one. I think I've said this story a few times. The first time I met a Ringing Cedars elder, a local one that lives about 45 minutes from me, she knocked on my door, I opened the door, and it was instant love, instant recognition, instant appreciation, an incredible experience seeing her in the flesh, not just on the screen like this. So in the meantime, of course, we meet online, and this has exceptional benefits. Of course, we've been building incredible relationships, haven't met each other yet. It's going to change this year.
This is true.
Yeah, we've been building incredible connections and relationships through technology. So, and we've also been building as Wyatt was alluding to there, a global image that Anastasia has emphasized repeatedly in every single book, every single one in the entire collection. She talks about a global image that is pure, pristine, and thriving. And she invites us repeatedly to not only hold that image in our mind, in our heart, not only to feel it, but to take small steps towards it. Whether you're living in an apartment on a 10-story building, or in a concrete jungle city, or wherever you are, like know that image, feel it, and also take steps towards implementing it in your life. Create the space of love now within you, wherever you are. So we practice this global imagery, of course, to reinforce where we know we are going, and also to encourage ourselves and one another to take these steps. And that's why it's so beautiful, Wyatt. Your call is so important. Your Kin's Domain call, like, it's really, really important. And I hear wonderful things as well about people getting inspired about, how they can take action and meeting other people who can take very practical steps now. So it's beautiful that we have a variety of calls like this, because they all complement one another and they're all important, right? So we had these, we meet every Sunday at 12 p.m. PST, that's 3 p.m. EST. Every Sunday we meet for 10 minutes globally around the world, and we hold the image, not on a call, we hold the image of a pure, pristine planet with very detailed imagery that we can feel within ourselves. And we encourage everyone to go outside if you can, bare feet on the ground if you can do that, and it's fine if not. And then one of those weeks, usually the Sunday near the end of the month, we meet live on a call. So we just had this live call last Sunday, and it was, it's incredible. It's incredible. There's like so much mystery that goes on, behind these live global imagery. We don't have to know what's going on, but we can certainly feel it. We can feel it. It's incredible. So we're going to have that journey together here, and it's going to be just a couple minutes. let's prepare our space a little bit here. So if you have a cell phone around you, make sure your ringer's off. If you have browsers on your laptop, your screen, make sure that's off. Give yourself this full experience. We're all over the world. We have about 25 people on the call. And of course, we have people watching the video on their own time. So not live. And so they're also going to be, those souls of those humans will also be joining us. Make yourself cozy. Perfect. And I'm going to guide you through the process. So all you do is just listen and feel. Listen and feel. It's as simple as that. Okay, so I'm going to invite everyone to close their eyes here. And we're going to take a deep breath. And let's really take a moment here to savor what this moment is. This is a really precious moment. We are all finding one another all over the world. We're finding one another in all the countries, everywhere. We all share a very ancient and brilliant and beautiful global image. And now we're finding one another again. So let's breathe. And this breath, it's a united one. We're breathing together. We're breathing together and we're all over the world. And as we breathe together, we're letting the earth breathe with us. She's breathing with us. And there's so much to this breath. There is joy and elation. There's great relief. And whatever else you're feeling, just be with that. Relief knowing that it's going to take many of us to create this global flourishing garden. And look, here we are, and we're breathing with you right now. Let's take a few more rounds here of breath. Very soothing, very nourishing. Our breath supporting yours and yours supporting ours. A collective family, a fellowship, a guardianship. And each and every one of us in this community, we are holders of this image, this pure, pristine life and light. And this pure, pristine image was also held by those before us. And so on the next breath, let's bring them in. We're going to bring in these ancestors who walked before us and who also worked hard to hold this image of a pure, pristine life. They're walking up behind us and they're standing behind us now. Foremothers, forefathers, ancient ancestors from long ago. They're walking up, they're standing behind all of us, and let's feel their support as we breathe together. A sea of support, and the magnitude of this support is unparalleled. Let yourself see and feel that we are never alone, and we are incredibly supported. Take a deep breath, a full breath. Imagine one of these ancestors now walks from behind you, and they're now walking in front of you, and they're sitting at your level, eye to eye, looking at you. You're looking at them, seeing the details of their eyes, their face, feeling their presence. And it's all going to happen through their eyes. They're expressing, this ancestor is expressing everything they're feeling for you, for us, for this movement, for being a holder of this pure, pristine global image. This ancestor is expressing everything they are feeling through their eyes towards you now. And now let's breathe with them. We're going to walk into this image now with this incredible ancestral support. We're walking into an image barefoot, and each step literally is kissing the ground, a ground that is incredibly alive, incredibly cared for, massively cherished, acknowledged, totally and utterly loved by all who walk upon her. Let yourself feel that connection through your bare feet. As you look up, as you gaze up, you're looking around at what looks like absolute heaven on earth, the most beautiful, flourishing, astounding, magnificent gardens, eco-settlements, innovative housing that is in harmony with nature. You can hear the sound of children, vibrant, free, happy. And when you breathe, you're breathing in an air that is optimally alive, air that is totally alive with life, energy, medicine. Breathe that deep. We're breathing this deeply within our lungs. We're all raising our faces now towards the sun, and we're feeling rays of the sun that absolutely melt our heart. An incredible warmth, an incredible acknowledgement, an incredible tenderness. Breathing in this warmth, breathing in this pure, pristine air. A beloved, someone that you know well, that loves you so much. Maybe you've met them, maybe you are yet to meet them, but you can feel them holding one of your hands. In this beautiful environment, imagine yourself looking over to this man or woman. Look deeply into their eyes, and they're looking right back at you, and they are demonstrating a human being that is pure, pristine, vibrant, alive, totally free in every sense of the word. You're seeing this reflection in your beloved now. Take a breath with them and feel this incredible joy in their body and lightness. Let yourself be seen by them in your pure, pristine origins, in your joy, in your sovereignty and your light. Let's take a deep breath again, full breath. Your other hand is being held. We're holding hands now all over the world. We're creating a living grid. Imagining our bare feet on the ground. We're breathing with this precious earth, and she knows that we are ready to be this with her now. She knows. We know it, she knows it. And what a moment this is. The natural world will be bringing us, everyone, every single man and woman on this call, the natural world will be bringing us the opportunities, the people, the very perfect moments to take this step towards her. As of this moment, this will be happening for all of us. It's already been happening, and it will continue to happen. Breathe with this living grid of men and women all over the world, ready to honor this pure, pristine life. Take a moment and feel your body, the lightness, the energy in your body or surrounding your body. And we're going to bring this lightness, this energy into the room that we're in, the home that we are currently in this dimension. And if we're outside, bring it into the space that you're in outside. Feel your physical body, and you're breathing this incredible current into your bones, into your muscles, into the ground beneath you, the environment around you. We can feel these incredible root system from our body moving into the ground beneath us. And these roots move gracefully and lovingly into the earth. As you're rooting down and spreading your roots, my roots are connecting to yours. Yours connecting to mine and to the other readers on this call. Now let's breathe through this connected wood-wide root system. We're breathing through this root system that we're also connected with. Let's gently bring the hands together, everyone, and rub the palms. Get heat in the hands. Energy in your hands. Take another big breath. And let's cup the eye sockets with the palms. Keep your shoulders relaxed here as you do. Another important moment. Breathe that warmth in from your palms right into the eyes, beyond the eyes, right into the brain, into the nervous system. As of this moment, we're going to start seeing this possibility, this reality in everything, in everyone. No matter how far they are from pure origins, we are going to start seeing that possibility. Reprogramming the eyes to soften and see it everywhere as of now. Let's keep the eyes closed and slowly bring your hands back down to your lap. Take a few moments here to connect with the body and your environment. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. want to thank you. I want to thank everyone for holding the image in a time where a lot of people can't. Thank you for holding that image no matter what. I am going to hold that image no matter what. We on the team are going to hold the image no matter what, no matter how dark or whatever it gets, we're holding it. And that's where we're going. That's where we're going. And I want to thank you for being that. It takes a lot of courage, and it's beautiful, and it's making an enormous difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Ariane, for
Yeah.
such a beautiful ending to this amazing evening. An ending, but a new
Thank you,
beginning.
sister.
A new year.
So
It's
amazing.
like,
Thank you so much.
It's like each day it keeps growing, you know, and it's like a tree, you know, we can't get distracted, you know, by sometimes apparent slow growth in the beginning, because no matter 100-foot tall oak can come from that, you know, and a 200-foot tall cedar can come from that, and they can last for 500 years. And I love how she says that, you know, it reminds us, I think, of the purity within us all. Like, an oak tree will always be an oak tree, a cedar tree will be a cedar tree, a squirrel will be a squirrel, and man will be man. Nothing can really get in the way of us and our destiny again.
That's one little cedar nut right there.
And that has all it takes to grow into a tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for joining, and thank all of you for adding your heart to this and making this event possible. I hope you got some benefit from it. There's some links that I just posted in the chat if you guys are interested, and Gabriel will put all these into the YouTube description, but those are already in our YouTube description. But those just the foundation website, the community platform, our Telegram, Facebook group. This has been an absolutely phenomenal evening. There's so many more events happening. I'm not sure the calendar of the next one coming up. I'm not recalling it at this moment, but I think, Ariane, you have a reader's call happening in the beginning of April. But yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be discussing the second half of book, The New Civilization. So I think that's book 8.1, right? Yes. So The New Civilization, discussing the second half of that book, the first Monday of April. So I can give that date. That's going to be the 3rd of April. And then we also have our next global guided imagery. I believe that's on the live global guided imagery. I believe that's on the 16th. I will post that notice early, so everybody has ample time to prepare.
Cool. And then there's
And if you really want to stay updated on our events, you should sign up for our newsletter. You should go to Anastasia.Foundation and sign up for our newsletter, because everything in the world is in that newsletter.
Elizabeth, you're doing a phenomenal job with the news. It is so impressive
Give it
and
up to
beautiful
Elizabeth.
and detailed oriented. It's beautiful, Elizabeth. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I've said this to Elizabeth privately many times, but for the people watching, if you've seen our newsletter, then you know, but like, she's really brought something I had as a vision for a long time with that newsletter to fruition, and really has been able to document and show all the work that we're really doing. And it's incredible. Yeah, Elizabeth, you're doing amazing.
Thank you. And I have so many visions about where it still wants to go. Like, I look at it and it's like,
Mhm.
it started here, it's here, and it's just like, it just keeps going. And oh my gosh, anyway, it's going to just keep getting better, everyone.
And Elizabeth, you're traveling, right? We should be wishing you well travels soon.
Yes, I'm going to Bali in 2 days.
Connecting with other readers there as well, yeah?
Yep, I will be. I'm going to be
Mhm.
meeting Haley. And there's another reader that I met through the Telegram channel who also is in Bali. I've met, been in discussion with them as well. And it's him and his family live there, so I'm going to be meeting up with him too. And you guys, there's probably, oh, and actually, yes, okay, so there's another person I'm going to be meeting with at a place called Les Waterfalls. It's a pure place to do water fasting, whatever. One of the main stewards of the land there has also read the books, and I'm going to be staying with him for 10 days, a minimum of 10 days, to do some
Look at
water
that.
fasting at Les. Yeah,
Amazing.
Wow.
you're everywhere.
Yeah, see, we're a planetary family. We're
Mm-hmm.
just waking up and finding each other again. And like Anastasia said, it's the whole 𝚝𝚑𝚒𝚒 civilization waking up again, ancient friends meeting each other again in this life. I know everybody on this call that I'm speaking with, that this ain't our first time meeting, and it's not the last.
Mm-hmm.
And, some of those people you're going to go meet, Elizabeth, it's not the first time and it's not the last. And, and that's what it is. It's a beautiful thing. And we're truly blessed. And Ariane, as you were doing the visualization and the ancestors were coming in, I could feel that they're so just ready for us to be doing what we're doing and behind us 1,000,000%. And they can't wait to come back too.
Exactly.
They're all in line. They're all in line to come back, and they're ready for it.
Yes. Yeah. So think about this, everyone. All of the natural world supporting us, like millennia of ancestry supporting us, these future generations supporting us.
I could feel like God just crying tears of joy at everything that's going on,
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And one day we're going to go and visit one another on blooming, glorious, flourishing eco-settlements, Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all here already, my friends. It's all here. It's just a matter of time. Anastasia said slowness was given in the material realm so we could think things through and not make mistakes, but consider it a done deal already. We're going to live and see all these things.
It may have taken 1,000 years, but we're back, and we're not going back again.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for joining. I know that this will be up on YouTube eventually. It's been phenomenal. Maybe we'll do more of these. Who knows?
I would like to. This was real nice being with you three. This has been really special.
Yeah, this is good. Thank you all so much. Much love
Thank
to
you, everyone.
Happy New Year. And we look forward to connecting with you.
Joy, bright thoughts to everybody.
Bye, everyone. Love you.
Bye.